Good morning. It's Wednesday already, May 22nd. We have some really appropriate things to talk about today. We're going to talk about vehicle ages peaking, political jabs flying because someone took a cheap shot at auto dealers and we're not happy about it.
We are not happy about it.
Not even close. We were getting text messages early. Did you see this? Did you see this?
This right here is like, this is not unbiased opinion Wednesday.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, show disclaimer. We have a
real
position
opinions today that are not unbiased media coverage.
No,
just to be clear.
no, and we have the backup to prove our position, by the way.
Yes.
By the way, Doug Klassen, thanks for jumping in on the live stream. Only 357 days till a SodaCon. He did 358 yesterday. So we agree. We're super excited. Speaking of which, we already released the dates for a SodaCon 2025. Throw the graphic up. May 12th through 16th, 2025. Circle it on your calendar now. Make sure like no one books anything in there. If you're an industry partner, make sure you know where you are going to be and the audience you want to be in front of.
They're not allowed to have 20 groups. Or
actually, we need more OEM representation next year. Yeah, if you are an OEM or if you are close with an OEM relationship, drop the seed right now and be like, next year you need to be here. We want to get their voice in the conversation. We have very limited that, right? Obviously, we're kind of like a front lines up media company, right? So we spend a lot of time there. Next year, we're gonna get some OEMs. You know what? I want to get some of the new entrants there too. Like we need to get Scout there. Scout's going to release a lot this year. So depending on what they release and how, we'll see. Maybe we'll try to get Ernie Garcia this year, 2025.
That could be good. Yeah, especially if they continue to rebound.
The problem is, like we just got to wait and it could.
You never know.
But man, so much respect for the entrepreneurial nature of
respect.
The Miracle Mile that they.
We had a conversation yesterday. It was like the person was like, I don't know how they could service that debt, but they figured it out. You know,
they sure did.
They just figured it out.
They sure did.
And you got to give some kudos to that.
We didn't cover the story. It's not. I don't know why, but they converted one of the Odessa auctions they bought into their like in-house reconditioning. Like it's only reconditioning Carvana cars and processing. All right, that's not one of the stories for today, though. It's not one of the stories. All right, let's do this first one so we can get to the second one. The average age of vehicles in the U.S. has climbed to a all-time record of 12.6 years, with the total number of vehicles in operation increased to 286 million as of January 2024. So basically, it's up by 2 months from the previous year, continuing what is a 7-year trend. Vehicles lasting longer, staying on the road. Only 88 million vehicles were 1 to 5 years old in January, down from 90.3 million in 2023. There are 110 million vehicles in the prime aftermarket service range, which is 6 to 14 years. When the stuff breaks and the people are willing to fix it. Factors driving the increase include better vehicle quality, high prices of new vehicles, COVID-19 impacts, and hesitancy to buy EVs is listed in there as well. Todd Campau of S&P Global Mobility noted the main driver of this was the pandemic and supply chain issues.
Yeah, we kind of knew this was coming. You're just going to have more cars on the road because you have sideline buyers due to affordability, supply chain, pandemic, accessibility to purchasing. So we knew this was coming, but it's still, I actually just researched, I knew we were covering the story. Listen to this. According to a 2022 report from Assurant, so that's a couple years old, the average age of a phone is 3.5 years.
Really?
The average age of an iPhone is 3.51. The average age of an Android is 3.62. So there are some that are less. So when you look at 286 million vehicles in operation currently, the opportunity here is to work on, as an industry, our trade cycle management, get people think about this right now. So you got a 12.6 year, right? Mm-hmm. So 286 divided by 12.6. I'm just doing quick math, right? Like your max SAR is 22 million. We have a SAR of about 27 million or 17 million typically, right? If you want to get to more vehicles sold, you reduce the years
that they're on the road.
And all of a sudden you eat up more of that 286 million cars on the road.
It's funny that you bring this up because and that we talked about Ernie Garcia already.
Yes,
When
that was
he
his
did this,
whole
automotive news.
strategy.
He's like, listen, if we make a car, a used car particularly, easier to buy, more enjoyable to buy, people will do it more often. They won't avoid it, right? Because it's fix it, buy a new one. Like there is a thing, like people avoid it. He's like, and we can kind of control the size of our own market if we speed up just the trade cycle just a little bit. We can actually increase the entire market. I was like, I watched the whole room of car dealers. It was at the Auto News Retail Forum. I watched everybody be like, because he was approaching it like a startup founder and not like a car guy.
Well, that's what I always argue. I'm like, you've got these dealers with 50, 70, 100,000 records in their DMS.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why do you ever have to go acquire a new customer every single year? If your goal is to sell 200 or 300 or 800 a month, doesn't matter. If you have 100,000 people in your DMS, if you just increase slightly the retention rate or the trade cycle management, like you're set.
I know. Well, that takes
an opportunity for our industry. Massive.
It's the hard part is the allure of just increasing the ad budget. That's a lever you can pull with some dollars, and the other one just takes long-term strategic execution. But the dealers who know that are doing it well. Oh boy, speaking of not doing it well.
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
All right, we got a video to show you because Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown's new ad is targeting Republican challenger and car dealer Bernie Moreno. Basically, he uses his past as a car dealer to be the reason you wouldn't vote for him, sparking backlash from a lot of auto dealers who support Moreno's campaign and backlash of these two guys right here and the few thousand people we have behind us that understand the truth of the industry. Let's watch the ad and then we'll break it down.
Moreno. Hi, I'm Bernie Moreno.
As a car salesman, Bernie Moreno would say anything to sell a car.
We offer excellent sales guarantees. 52 car washes a year. It's an amazing vehicle.
Well, that is unbelievable.
And now that he's running for Senate, Bernie Moreno hasn't changed. Not one bit. You couldn't trust him as a car dealer.
And his really cool car wash kit.
So why would you trust him as your senator?
Nobody else can offer you.
Learn more at truthaboutmoreno.com.
I'm sure Brown and I approve this message.
He sure does. Okay, so listen.
Look,
first of all, when I heard this story,
nobody
I was
wants leather, Paul.
Car wash kits couldn't possibly be cool.
Nobody wants 52 free car washes a year.
I was like girding my loins when I was about to watch the commercial because I didn't know anything about their advertising, and I was expecting to see like cowboy hats, kicking doors in, and I was like, first of all, I'm so happy these are like really good ads anyway. That he's showing.
They're well done.
They're well shot. He's saying things that are like
spoken,
and okay, so basically he's making the claim that because he's a car dealer, therefore
that's it.
Right, we learn about this in logic class. Because he's a car dealer, therefore he cannot be trusted. Therefore, all car dealers are untrustworthy. It's just very insulting. Tim Glockner of Glockner Chevrolet said his comments are a slap in the face to so many hardworking Ohioans in the auto sales industry. And we can talk about it some more, but I did have to go look. I was like, let me go look at the trusted professions and ethics data. And Mr. Brown, Sherrod Brown, he's a career politician, right? Like that's what he's done in his career.
Yep.
And they're like way less trusted than car dealers, which is, I think, so ironic.
So interesting. Yeah. I mean, what I'm interested in, and we can't go look back and look because I think he like recently sold back in 2022.
Yep.
I think I saw sold the last store. So I'm not sure like what the history of, like how did the reviews and how is the profitability?
I guarantee you if that was an issue,
I bet it was pretty strong.
I guarantee you if it was an issue, the opposing political campaign would have used that. But the best they could come up with would be like, this car wash kit's really awesome. Oh my gosh, what a terrible thing
the
to
leather.
say.
Oh, he's got a Bentley in the background.
And he's talking about how great the leather is. The leather's not great. I mean, this is a super sore spot for us. We would love to get Bernie Moreno on the show. So if you know him or know somebody who knows him, please reach out to him and point him in this direction, because we would love, and I really wish we had time to do this, shoot a More Than Cars episode in Ohio, right? But however, this is exactly the thing, one of the reasons that preemptively we created the More Than Cars docuseries. You can go to morethancars.tv, watch any of the episodes, and this is the truth that we know about the industry. And this is also, I think, one of the truths that can move auto industry up the ethics. Like we're going to move up. We're going to move up.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally our core passion. We got a text this morning from Todd Caputo. It's like, this is at the center of what Autodu is all about. It is rewriting the cultural perception of auto, and why the vast majority of dealers do not operate in a way that is unbecoming of the culture. And that story just has to be told, and that story has to be righted and put right in consumers' minds, because we ask the question all the time, Paul. We go to these man on the street interviews and we ask, how was your last vehicle purchase? Did you enjoy it? How was it buying a car? And the overwhelming majority is, oh yeah, I loved it. I would do it again. I loved dealing
with
that.
And like, what was your favorite part? And they like 8 out of 10 times say the salesperson. And then you can immediately ask them a question. What do you think about car dealers?
And they revert their opinion and their feeling. And so it's not a personal interaction issue. It's a cultural stigma that needs to be erased.
Nathan, our producer, just put in a note here to give a little background. Moreno's distinguished career as a car dealer owner began in Cleveland in 2005 with the purchase of one small underperforming Mercedes dealership on the west side in just 1 year. The dealership earned the coveted Best of the Best award for Mercedes and went on to win it for the next 10 consecutive years, something no other Mercedes dealer has accomplished, even still to this date. He went from a single dealership to impressive collection of luxury dealerships across several states and would become the largest luxury volume dealer in the Midwest. So take that.
Wow.
So this is a conversation we want to continue. And it's like you said, Kyle, is literally why we do what we do. All right. Speaking of understanding why you do what you do.
Stop. Segue.
Time.
We've had a lot of contrarian conversations about this particular topic. And contrary to popular belief, a new study shows that Gen Z workers may have many of the same aspirations and values as their older colleagues, focusing on decent salaries, meaningful work, and work-life balance. A study by Sarah Mount found that Gen Z workers value work-life balance and flexibility with a desire to be, listen to this, in the office for the social interaction and learning, but maybe not every day. Only 11% of Gen Z want to work remotely full-time compared to 34% of older workers. They're probably talking about us millennials, you know what I'm saying? Financial stability is obviously important across the generations, with 51% of Gen Z desiring that, and 47% of older workers prioritizing salary relationships with their careers. And they also want they desire leadership. They want strong relationships with leadership. John VZ Detters of Sarah Mount noted, Gen Z is not different from other generations. We're just the newest one.
I've said this many times. I mean, I have Gen Z kids, oldest being 17, about to turn 18 in August. And he and his friends, and my daughter's 15, and I have a 12-year-old, so I have 3 Gen Zers. 12-year-old is not alpha, right? She's Gen Z. Barely. I feel a lot more similarities to the Gen Z demographic, just in the way they approach things. And I know you and I are just slightly different. Kyle, you and I, as far as how we came up. But there is this desire to be in the mix, be in the grind, right? It's not the stigma. They say that COVID, in this article, it says that COVID actually hurt them quite a bit because they wanted to be out. And now this over desire to be around people, that's because honestly, that's what it's like when you just get started, right?
Yep.
I want to be in there. I want to be in the mix.
Yeah, exactly. You look back, and a lot of Gen Zers were coming through college and coming through the entry into the workplace over the last 5 years. Cause I think Gen Z goes up to 26 or 27 now, is the age.
Dang. I can't believe Gen Z is almost 30.
Gen Z is in the workplace. Right. And so you look at that, and they came through a time where they just didn't get the interpersonal interaction. So they didn't get the care and leadership of mentorship in person so much. We see this is hard for us. Like our organization is completely remote, all except for like 2 people are together. And like there are special things about it because there's a different pace and a different ability and different time zones that we can work in as an organization, but it's also difficult because we don't get that like rubbing shoulders interaction on a day-to-day basis. And so, I think that just points to like this crew is ready to go. And so don't like, I think I'm going to say this probably till I die is don't discount the next generation. We've seen over and over and over the narrative being discounting the next generation and the next generation constantly having to fight back against that narrative. What if we could flip the script and encourage the next generation into success?
Snaps on that. Snaps on that. Oh man, Gen Z is going to crush the auto industry. We know we hung out with some of them at a SodaCon.
Let's go.
Those Northwood students were crushing. They're going to continue to crush. Listen, go out there and prove everybody and the stigma wrong.